20 years ago, I had experiences that were not so great as a teenager. After I got married, I ended up getting a lot of headaches. I used to take a Brufen every day to to deal with the pain. And once I came to Pranic Healing, everything disappeared. I'm fitter than I was 20 years ago. And it's been an enjoyable journey. I've been able to heal many people. I've been able to teach and help change the lives of so many people. And it's been so satisfying for me. As I grew into a healer, I understood that you couldn't heal the world. You had to help them to heal themselves. And it's good to watch people's lives changing. Pranic healing is actually a way of life. It incorporates every aspect of your life. It helps you to deal with so many different things. And I, for one, have not had to search for any other system to help me to deal with my life or all the problems that I've had to face.
I had gone to play table tennis at a friend's place, and I had a painful frozen shoulder and couldn't play. This friend of mine turned out to be a pranic healer, and she healed me 90% first day and 100% cure second day. I healed a person suffering from asthmatic bronchitis, not responding to allopathic medicines. And he responded also very dramatically after 2 sessions, and he was completely relieved.
I learned all the pranic healing, almost all the pranic healing courses, and I started healing myself for my hypothyroidism. And within a year of the treatment, I was cured, and everybody was bewildered, everybody was amazed. They were not believing me. So they asked me, okay, you went through the test. I went to the laboratory and I got my tests done, and amazingly all the tests were clear, and my TSH and T3, T4, all readings were very fine, and I was out of thyroid problem. And thankfully, thanks to Master, founder of Modern Pranic Healing and Heretic Yoga, I am out of thyroid now, and I don't have to take medicine the whole life long.
I have a son who's 1.5 years old, so I got in touch with Pranic Healing and the concept of it around 3 months back when my son was terribly unwell. One fine day he started with loose motions, and I took him to a pediatrician as normal. He was diagnosed and given antibiotics, which went over for 2 days, and even after 2 days there was no respite. The stools he was passing were all with blood in them, and every 15 minutes he was passing stools. He was terribly dehydrated, so I rushed him to doctor after 2 days, where I was told that let's rush him to ICU because I think the child needs hospitalization in ICU. That's where I called a healer and I requested for her help there. So she started healing, and it took me around 1 hour from the doctor's clinic to hospital, where the child was registered and he was put into ICU. As soon as we went into ICU, I told doctor about all this, that he's passing stools for every 15 minutes and there's a lot of blood in his stools. He was down with blood dysentery then. Doctor waited and waited. By then the healer had done 2 healings. We waited, and the loose motions, the frequency had reduced from 15 minutes to one in an hour. The blood from the stools had just vanished away, and he started to pass out urine also, which was not the case earlier. So doctor he didn't know about the pranic healing, someone was doing healing for him, but he was a little surprised, and he told me, as a mother, you're getting a little hyper, I think your child is perfectly fine, take him back home. So that day, although I admitted him to ICU, but doctor couldn't treat him for anything. He was sent back home, and there, my faith in pranic healing really kind of strengthened a lot, and that's where I started getting associated and trying to learn it as a student, because it's quite handy with small kids at home. Even any small cough and cold with my kid, I can quickly heal him, and another 2-3 hours I can see the difference. So I think it's really a wonderful thing to know and to practice in your day-to-day life.
We are all educated, and we think in a scientific bent of mind where we want proof of everything. So I was not sure, but I decided to do the course, and I liked it very much. And having used after having done the basic course, I used the technique of blessing, and I used it several times, and I found that it was things were resolving, and it was happening too many times for it to be just a mere coincidence. So from there on, I went on to do all the courses up to the Arhatic Prep.
So when I started Pranic Healing, my father was the first one I healed. He was complaining of a very bad knee problem, and he'd been to doctors and they had said you might have to have a knee operation if it carries on deteriorating. So I started giving him Pranic Healing, and within 2 months he was totally recovered. He's never had a knee problem ever since. Then he had a lot of headaches and arm ache and all. I keep doing that whenever he has a problem, as often as I can, and that seems to do wonders on him. I came across a friend of mine's baby who was 2 weeks old, had very little arm movement. Rather, her arm didn't move at all. Her hands and fingers did move. She asked me to give her healing, and I was very perturbed giving a small baby healing. But anyway, I took the Supreme God and Master's blessings and went ahead with it. Because actually they who are doing the healing, we are just channels for the healing. And I started her healing. And within 2.5 months, she's got 80% movement in her arm, and the mother is very happy with the result.
2.5 years ago, I was diagnosed with gastric reflux, which manifested as severe acidity and heartburn. And I had an endoscopy done, and they diagnosed a hernia, a hiatus hernia, and they said there was really nothing much that they could do apart from a surgery, which also was not a permanent cure because it could have relapsed later. So all they said was that you'll have to make some lifestyle changes in terms of what you eat, how often you eat, and where you go and all of that. And as a result, the quality of my life was not so good because I couldn't really eat out. I couldn't eat the kind of things I wanted to eat. Even in the house, there would be different kind of food for the rest of them and a different kind of food for me. And well, it wasn't very heartening. Then all of a sudden, I got to know about Pranic Healing, and I contacted a healer and started the healing almost immediately. And within a few sessions, I started noticing improvements. The frequency of the reflux, the acidity and the heartburn reduced, and gradually it came to a complete standstill. And today I am leading a normal life, and not only has it benefited me physically, but I can say confidently it's helped me in all aspects of life, physical health, emotional health, because I've done all the courses as well. I was very keen not only to get healed, but also to understand what this is all about and help others as well. So as a result, I got healing and I understood what this is all about, applied the meditation, all the techniques that we are taught. And today my family is also very much into it. My husband is a Pranic healer himself, and it's just wonderful.
Master Choa Kok Sui, as a spiritual teacher, is a true embodiment of his teachings. His rare depth of wisdom is a result of the alchemy of his experiences as an enlightened guru, chemical engineer, philanthropist, businessman, and scientist. His more than 20 years of research and proclivity for experimentation on the wise use of subtle energy has made him a master of energy. He is the foremost world expert on pranic healing and Arhatic yoga. Master Choa is the author of Miracles Through Pranic Healing, which has been translated into more than 20 languages.